We are hearing that the defendant's daughter, the victim in this case, has just taken the stand. So we do want to get everyone inside for that. Let's go in.
In the fall of 2024, where did you go to school?
Timberline High School.
At any point, did you stop going to Timberline High School?
Yes.
And where did you go then?
Online Summit High School.
Okay. And was Timberline High School in Lacey, Washington?
Yes.
And what year of school were you in when you started at Timberline? Between freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year?
I started for my sophomore year, junior, and my senior year, but I didn't finish my senior year.
Okay, so in the fall of 2024, would you have been starting your senior year? Or at the beginning of your senior year of high school?
At the beginning of my senior year.
And you said you go online now, is that correct?
Not now, but...
I'm sorry, you said at some point you went online, is that correct?
Yes.
Are you at a different in-person high school now?
Yes.
Okay. When did you move to online schooling from, apologies, let me back up. When you were going to Timberline High School, was that in person?
Yes.
When did you move from in-person to online?
I believe in the beginning of October.
Was that your choice to move online?
No.
Whose choice was that?
My parents.
And how did you like online classes?
It was okay.
Okay. What was the schedule like for that?
It was normal schedules, but it was just Zoom and just the teacher talking to us while we're doing our assignments.
Okay. So did that mean those classes then were at a scheduled time versus you can just go online and do them at your own pace?
It was at a scheduled time.
Okay. How many days a week was that?
Every day.
And were you able then to do them from home?
Yes.
Did you have friends that were going online?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Did you have friends in school?
Yes.
Did they all maintain in-person school?
Yes.
When we talk about your friends at school, are you familiar with someone named Isaiah? And where do you know him from?
From Timberline High School.
Okay. And was he in the same class or your group as you, meaning were you both seniors at the time?
No, I was the senior.
And what was he?
He's a junior.
Okay. And how would you describe the relationship between you and Isaiah in September, October of 2024? Acquaintances, friends, or something else?
We were dating.
Were you friends prior to that?
Yes.
Did you tell your parents when you started dating?
We need to pause it right there. Don't worry. We will hit pause on the other side of the break. Fatima Ali continues her testimony.
Also, a week after he was acquitted of murder and first-degree assault charges, the defendant in the Preppy Party murder trial could be facing yet another trial. We'll have details on that. Keep it here on your front row seat to justice.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, a mother and father on trial for attempting to kill their own daughter. We're live unpacking today's gripping testimony in the attempted honor-killing trial.
Closing Arguments, tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on Court TV.
Donna Adelson is facing charges of murder, the death of her former son-in-law.
Terrible. Now that Donna has turned into a defendant, what's next for the Adelson clan?
The matriarch mastermind murder trial. Live coverage this August on Court TV.
We want want to turn now to the attempted honor killing trial of Ihsan and Zahraa Ali that's taking place in Washington State. We have been following this trial, and their daughter, the victim, she is on the stand.
We cannot show her face per the judge's court order because of her age, but we're going to go back inside the courtroom to hear her testimony. You haven't missed a word.
And why not?
I was afraid.
Okay. Well, are you allowed to date?
No.
How old were you at the time?
17.
Ultimately, do you know if your parents found out you were dating?
Yes.
Okay. Who found out first?
My mom.
Did she tell you that she knew?
Yes.
When you moved to online school, was a reason given for why you were moving to online school to you?
To me?
Yes.
No.
When did you find out you were moving to online school?
When I met with the school, the principal.
And how did that meeting go?
It was fine at first.
Who met with the principal?
My mom and my sister.
So your mom and your sister, did you get a decision to play in that? Did you get to give your input as to online school?
I did.
Yeah, and what was your opinion?
I didn't want to go.
So who decided that you were going online?
My mom.
Okay. And Fatima, you indicated that you were born in Iraq, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been back to visit?
Yes.
And where to?
Iraq and Najaf.
You said in Najaf?
Najaf.
How many times have you been back?
Once.
When in relation to your senior year of high school did you go back to visit Iraq?
My sophomore year.
Okay. During the year or during the summer?
During the year.
Okay. So you would have been, if my math is right, about 16, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that where your family or extended family, or any extended family, is located?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like visiting Iraq?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Is there anything about Iraq that you, without explaining it, is there anything about Iraq that you didn't like?
Just felt unsafe.
Okay. When you came back to America from your visit, how did you feel about being back in America?
Going back?
About being back here in the United States. When you returned from Iraq and that visit, how did you feel about being back in the United States?
Better.
Okay. And when you say better, what do you mean by better?
Feeling safe.
So on or about Friday, October 18th of 2024, were you already in online school at this point?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. When did you move from in-person school to online school? I think you said the beginning of October earlier. Is that correct?
Yes.
So in the middle of October, on October 18th, Friday, October 18th of 2024, were you actively going online to school?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware at that time of any pending or future trips to go back to Iraq?
Yes.
And do you know when you were scheduled to fly for that trip?
Not at that moment.
Okay. Do you know now, or let me phrase this a different way, when were you scheduled to fly for Iraq?
I don't know what day, but it was a Friday.
Okay. Is there an incident that happened on or about October 18th, 2024 at your school?
Yes.
Okay. When was the planned trip to Iraq in relation to that incident?
That day.
Okay.
Time for us to take a break, but first we have this update in the preppy party murder trial of Rural Valley. A week after the jury found Valley not guilty of murder and first-degree assault and the stabbings of 4 teens, we are now learning the state does plan to retry him.
According to a court document, prosecutors will pursue the lesser charges of manslaughter in the first degree reckless, 2 counts of assault in the first degree reckless, and 1 count of second degree assault reckless. The jury told the judge they were hopelessly deadlocked on those charges. Valley was 16 years old when he stabbed 4 other teens during a fight. This was back in May of 2022. One of those teens, 17-year-old star lacrosse player James McGrath, died. Several witnesses testified McGrath was not involved in that fight.
Valley took the stand in his own defense, telling the jury he was in fear for his life and for his friend's life. No word yet on when a possible second trial might take place.
All right, let's take that break now. Up next, the victim in the attempted honor killing trial is still on the stand. We will get you right back to court.
Plus, the defendant in Court TV's newest case is brought to tears as opening statements get underway. The former dentist is accused of putting a lethal dose of cyanide in his wife's protein shakes. Our own Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas catches us up with the poison shake murder trial next. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Ashley Wilcott.
And I'm Kelly Craft, in today for Michael Ayala. Thank you for being with us. We are heading back to court now in the attempted honor killing trial of Ihsan and Zahraa Ali. Prosecutors say they tried to kill their 17-year-old daughter outside her former high school. This was last October.
The incident was captured on surveillance video from a bus, which does show the attack and shows several teens trying to intervene and help. The victim reportedly told police that her father threatened her with an honor killing for refusing to participate in an arranged marriage. The judge has ruled that honor killing and arranged marriage are terms that cannot be used during the trial, saying that they are too prejudicial.
The victim is still on the stand testifying on direct examination, so let's get you back in there.
That you were going back, you were scheduled to travel back to Iraq.
Can you repeat that for me?
Sure. How did you find out about the trip?
I found out by my mom first.
Okay, and when you say you found out by your mom, what does that mean?
I overheard her conversation.
Talking to who?
My aunt.
Okay. And did anyone else confirm that for you later? Provide more details?
Yes.
Who?
My sister, Henning.
Okay. And do you recall, in relation to the incident we're going to talk about in a little bit, when did you find out about the trip back to Iraq?
Can you repeat that for me, please?
Sure, no, that's okay. How long did you know you were traveling back to Iraq before the incident we're going to talk about? Days, weeks, months, hours, something different?
Like a week or so.
Okay. And when did you talk to your mom about that trip, meaning how long are we going for? What do I need to pack? Did you get any of that kind of information from your mom or your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of information did they give you about the trip?
To pack a lot of clothes.
Okay. How long were you going for?
More than at least 2 months.
Okay, so a couple of months.
Yes.
Did you have a round trip ticket or a one-way ticket?
One-way ticket.
And what, if anything, did they indicate about the online schooling that you were actively engaged in? Were you going to maintain your schooling?
Yes.
So their plan was to maintain that same schooling?
Yeah.
Do you know what the time difference is to Iraq from Washington?
About 10 hours.
And was everyone going on that trip, to your knowledge?
No.
Who was not going on that trip?
My dad and my sister, Henning.
And who was going on the trip? Does that mean everyone else was going on the trip?
Yes.
Okay. You've previously described your prior experience going to Iraq and feeling unsafe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have any concerns about returning back to Iraq?
Yes.
And based on your prior experiences in Iraq, did you have concerns about being safe upon your return?
Yes.
Did you have any concerns about your return to the United States afterwards?
Yes.
And what concern did you have about returning to the U.S. afterwards?
Not returning at all.
Did you explain to your parents that you didn't want to go back?
No.
And why not?
Because no matter what I say, it doesn't really change.
Okay. How would you describe your communication style with your parents and theirs with you?
Not good.
And when you say not good, do you have an open communication back and forth? Can you talk to your parents about those types of things?
No.
Fatima, do you recall, a quick aside, do you recall participating in a hearing in March of this year where you were sworn in unrelated to this criminal case?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall during the course of that hearing being asked a question about whether someone had contacted you, to which you indicated an answer that was not true and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall during an interview with defense counsel earlier this year where you were asked about that question specifically?
Yes.
And when you were asked about that hearing, did you indicate to defense counsel that the hearing statement you had provided was not true and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So on October 18th of this year, as I understand it, you didn't feel like you had a very open communication style with your parents. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just a moment. Ms. Stoney said October 18th of this year.
Oh, apologies, Your Honor. Thank you. October 18th of 2024.
Yes.
Okay, last year. You indicated that you hadn't expressed those travel concerns for the reasons that you stated. Once you decided you didn't want to go back, did you make a plan about what to do?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell the jury, please, what that plan was?
To run away.
Okay. And how were you going to accomplish that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, on the morning of October 18th, 2024, tell me how that day started for you. What did you do that day?
I woke up at 4 in the morning.
And what did you do next?
I decided to pack up all my things and go out in the back door.
Okay. Did you take any money with you?
Yes.
Okay. How much did you take?
$100.
Okay. And whose money was that?
My mom's.
Okay. And you grabbed your things. You took $100 from your mom. You, what kinds of things? When you say you grabbed your things, what does that mean?
My clothes.
Okay. Anything else?
Hygiene stuff.
Okay. And where did you go?
To the bus stop.
And where did you go from the bus stop?
To Walmart and Safeway.
Okay. So why did you go to Walmart and Safeway?
Because school didn't start.
And when you say school, which school?
Timberline High School.
Okay. Why were you waiting for school to start?
So I can go there.
So you could what?
I can go there.
Okay. You've talked about, Fatima, where you didn't feel safe. Where did you feel safe?
In the school.
What happened next?
I was going to stop next to a bus stop next to the Safeway.
And then what happened?
Then my mom or my sister found me in the car.
Then what did you do?
Ran the other direction.
Okay. And what happened next?
I waited and I took a little break because I was tired.
And then what?
I went to the other side so they wouldn't see me.
And when you say the other side of what?
Like not near a Safeway at all, like somewhere they cannot see where I'm going.
Okay. And what happened next?
I was waiting for the bus and then I went further away
And then what?
After I went further away, I was trying to come up with a plan or something so I can get to the school on time.
Okay. And what did you do after you had some time to kind of come up with a plan? Where did you go next?
I went into the bus, and then I went straight to the school.
And when you say the school, are we still talking about Timberline High School?
Yes.
Is that in Lacey, Washington?
Yes.
And what happened? Well, first of all, what time does school start?
7:30.
And where did you go when you got there?
I went straight to a classroom.
And whose classroom was that?
Mr. Thomas.
Who is Mr. Thomas? What does he teach?
History.
Fatima saying she saw her mother and sister and ran away from them. We're going to pause it right there. When we come back, the victim continues her testimony on direct examination. Stay here with us on your front row seat to justice. Two parents face a jury
over the attempted murder of their own daughter. Court TV takes you inside the trial that's torn a family apart.
The attempted honor killing trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, a mother and father on trial for attempting to kill their own daughter. We're live unpacking today's gripping testimony in the attempted honor killing trial.
Closing Arguments, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Mr. Thomas do?
He told me he couldn't help me.
Okay. And did you, what period is that?
First period.
Okay. And after you spoke with Mr. Thomas, did he give you anything?
He gave me some food.
Okay. And then where did you go from there?
To the counselor's office.
Okay. And when you left Mr. Thomas's class and you went to the counselor's office, where is the counselor's office?
Downstairs.
Okay. And who is the counselor?
Miss Robinson.
Miss Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. And she is the school counselor?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Miss Robinson then from your time there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a relationship with Miss Robinson?
Yeah.
Without repeating anything that you said to Miss Robinson, what happened next?
Eventually, I had a place to stay, and I had to wait until school was over.
Okay. Did you tell her what was going on?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell her what you were afraid of?
Yes.
And when you say you got a place to stay, did she assist you in getting that place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. Did she provide you with any additional items for the purpose of getting you set up in that place to stay?
Yes.
What kinds of items?
A blanket and a computer.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's one quick
Computer.
Computer, I believe she said.
Thank you.
And
Is that correct? Computer?
Yes.
were you trying to still do your online classes?
Yes.
Okay. And then how long did you stay at the school?
I don't know.
So did you stay until school ended, or?
Oh, I thought you meant.
That's okay.
I stayed until school was over.
Okay. And do you recall what time school lets out?
Ends at 2 o'clock.
And what happened when school let out? Where did you go when school let out? When all the bells ring, I'm assuming there's bells. When the bells ring and everyone's in the mass exodus, where do you go?
I went to the bus stop.
And where was Miss Robinson at this time?
She was leading me outside.
Okay. Did you see Isaiah at any point during the day?
Yes.
Where did you see Isaiah?
I saw him coming out from the front of the door, and then I was waiting on him.
Okay. And when you say the doors, which doors to the building?
The front.
Front doors?
Front doors.
Okay. So were you with Miss Robinson then at the time that you met up with Isaiah?
Yes.
Okay. And you said she started walking you to the bus stop. Did she go all the way to the bus stop with you?
No.
Where did she leave you at?
Right in the front of the doors.
Okay. And did anyone walk with you to the bus stop then?
Yes.
Who did? And why were you going to the bus stop?
So I can get to the place where I can stay at.
Okay. Is this a nonprofit location?
Yes.
Okay. Had you told your parents during this where you were going?
Not at that moment.
And as you're walking to the bus stop, well, let me back up. What are you dressed on this day? What are you wearing?
A hoodie and some black pants.
A hoodie and some black pants?
Yes.
Did you have any hats or masks with you?
Yes, I had my hood on and I had a beanie and a mask on.
And when you say a mask, what kind of mask?
Like a COVID mask.
A COVID mask?
Yes.
Were you wearing them as you walked to the bus stop, or had you taken them off?
I was wearing them.
Okay. At some point, did you take them off?
Yes.
When did you take them off?
When my dad was talking to me.
Okay, so as you're walking to the bus stop, what's happening around you? Are there kids? Is there traffic? Is it empty? What does the area look like?
Really busy.
Really busy? Okay.
I
And
need you to verbally respond. You shook your head, but if you could give a verbal response, please.
I apologize.
no, you're okay. So is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And remember that the reason, and we talked about it, right? The reason is because we have a court reporter. She has to write down everything we say. So if you nod, she can't write down a nod. If you say mm-hmm, she can't write down an mm-hmm. We don't know what that means. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're walking to the bus stop, what's happening next?
I saw my dad's truck.
And when you say you saw your dad's truck, where did you see that?
In the park.
Bob Bianchi is still with us, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. Bob, let's talk about her testimony, extremely important in this case. Her father is sitting there listening, the mother keeping her head down as she's testifying. What are you taking away from her testimony?
It's bringing a lot back to me. You know, I've had so many cases in my career as a prosecutor where there are significant cultural differences between people who come to the United States and are trying to raise a family versus the culture here, and that's what this is reminding me of. I think this witness is difficult for the prosecution. She's very short. She's not really telling a narrative, but the prosecutor's doing an excellent job in the manner in which she's asking questions to get the information out. Guys, just what strikes me is, as I'm listening to this, is jury nullification. I'm just wondering, what the father did with the chokehold is absolutely not correct. But as I'm listening to this as a lawyer, thinking about one juror, just one, who may think differently than I do, saying, you know what, they were trying to keep the girl from running away. They were trying to do what they could to make sure she was safe. She leaves the home with just a bag of clothes and $100. She's not sophisticated enough to know what to do in the world on her own, and it just got ugly. Whether or not somebody says, irrespective of the law, when we're dealing with corporal punishment, we're not going to push the button on this family. That's just what's in my mind right now. As a prosecutor, I'm worried about jury nullification.
I got to tell you, Bob, two reasons I thought the same thing is, and I just said to Kelly, do you think that the jury's going to find she is scared? Or do you think that they're going to find she didn't like the culture that her parents belong to? And then add to that, some of the questions led to parental decisions. So some of the things I couldn't help but thinking, Bob, you know my child welfare background, that all these things that she didn't like are parental decisions. Things like not given a reason why you're going to go to online school instead of a high school. Well, that's a parental decision. Traveling to Iraq, maybe not wanting to stay there, but going back home to visit family. That's a parental decision. These are things that parents decide every day for their children, and there's nothing wrong with that in terms of the law.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the defense, at least I would as a defense lawyer, sitting there saying, with all the parents that are out there that are inattentive to their kids, don't know where they are, don't know what they're doing, drugs, alcohol, not going to school. These parents were exactly the opposite of that. This child was pushing back on them, and they were trying to exert a measure of corporal punishment. Now, Judge, I guess me and you are on the same wavelength, because I decided to look up Washington state law on corporal punishment, and the prosecution would be smart to say, choking is considered presumed unreasonable, at least for purposes of corporal punishment. It's going to be interesting for the jury to weigh out the balance. I'm telling you right now, as a defense lawyer, that's the angle I'm working. These were good parents, and it just went too far.
And a lot of states allow physical discipline so long as it doesn't amount to abuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that it's just so interesting. It's hard to listen to. It's hard to listen to her testimony, hard to know about this case, read about this case. Bob, if you were crossing her, what would you want to get out?
Well, you know, I think you got to obviously be gentle, because she's a demure witness to begin with. She is a victim of a crime. But I sense a sense, I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do. I'm listening to it, I'm hearing a little love in the voice there, referring to her as dad, and the way she talks about him, that I want to bring out all through her, all the good things that mom and dad did to protect her, the money invested in her, the time invested into her, and that's where I'm going. I'm not going to hurt her any more than that.